One detail the Predators, or Yautja, are known for is their diverse range of weaponry. Some of the most prominently featured hunting tools seen on film are the Wristblades, the Plasmacaster, the SmartDisc, the Combistick, and introduced in the latest movie Prey, the BoltGun. But not all of their weapons are as well known, and there are many others that you may have overlooked or forgotten about. In this video we're going to be looking at 15 rare Yautja weapons from the movies in no particular order. But before we begin, make sure to leave a like on the video for all the time and effort I put into making it, as fully scripted and edited videos such as this one take hours to make, so I really do appreciate it when you all do that, as liking videos helps a lot when it comes to the algorithm. So without further delay, let's begin, starting with number 1, the Ceremonial Dagger. The Ceremonial Dagger was first seen in Alien vs Predator when the Celtic Predator battles the xenomorph known as Grid. It is seen again when Scar fashions weapons for Lex Woods out of a xenomorph head and tail. Its primary use is to remove the carapace of a xenomorph to take trophies from, but it could also be used as a close contact weapon if need be. The Ceremonial Dagger was stored in a sheath attached to the right shins of all 3 Youngblood Predators in AVP, and is treated to be immune against xenomorph blood. The weapon is associated with the blooding rite of Youngblood Yautja. Number 2, the BIOMASK cannon. Introduced in The Predator, the fugitive's mask featured a built-in miniature Plasmacaster, which would emerge from its fairing and fire automatically at anything that attacked the wearer. It operated entirely independently from the user's inputs and worked even when the mask was not worn. Number 3, the razor wire noose. Seen in Alien vs Predator in the scene where Scar uses it to take out one of Weyland's mercenaries. It was made using the same wire used to hang bodies, but fashioned into a noose. Scar also used it later to fashion weapons for Lex. It could be camouflaged using the cloaking device, making it almost impossible to see. The material is slim but strong, able to hold the weight of an adult human as it yanks them up. It also constricts around the throat in such a way that the victim cannot produce any noise, allowing Yautjas to pick off stragglers in a group with utmost stealth. Number 4, the Energy Flechette. Introduced in Predator 2, the Energy Flechette is mounted in the Yautja's wrist gauntlet. While some versions are seemingly fixed in place, others have been seen that fold away into the gauntlet when not in use. It is similar in many respects to the more common Plasmacaster weapon, albeit firing significantly less powerful bolts and with many of the latter's more advanced features removed. For example, the Energy Flechette is incapable of tracking targets independently, and it does not feature an integrated laser sight. As such, it must be aimed by the Yautja literally pointing their arm at the target, and is only suitable at close range. It would also be difficult to use against small or fast-moving targets. Owing to its simplistic nature and somewhat lacking power, the Energy Flechette is seemingly only intended as a backup weapon to be used in situations where more powerful weaponry is unavailable or disabled. Number 5, the Wrist Shield. Seen in the movie Prey, and also simply known as the Shield, it is a deployable device used to deflect enemy attacks. It is highly durable and easily retractable when not in use. The device was able to withstand blunt force, bladed weapons, and even bullets from muskets and pistols. It could also be used offensively, as its edges were sharp enough to slice through the neck of an enemy when activated at close range. Number 6, Mines and Traps. Several variations of these weapons have been seen, although they all share similar characteristics in that they are static weapons triggered either when an enemy passes close by or activated remotely via the wrist computer. In AVPR, Wolf's laser mines would slice through anything that passed through the beams, and in Predators, the Super Predators used bear trap-like snares to maim. Number 7, Cut Clamps. Seen in Prey being used by the feral predator, they were metallic coiled cutting tools which, when unfurled, could be wrapped around objects and would cut through them with its sharp inner blades. These were used to free the predator from traps and also as an offensive weapon and could sever limbs. Number 8, Scimitar Blades. Seen on the Chopper Predator in Alien vs Predator, they are similar to Wristblades in function, but offer greatly increased range owing to their greater size, but at the cost of increased bulk and reduced manoeuvrability. Furthermore, while Wristblades can be folded away completely when not in use, scimitars have only limited retracting capabilities, meaning the user is affected by their bulk even when not in combat. When fully extended, a scimitar blade can be as long as a predator's leg, giving the hunter significant range in a melee encounter. As an added benefit, they are also covered by a predator's cloak even when extended fully. Number 9. Kujad Projectile Weapon. When attached to the wrist gauntlet, the Kujad can act as a weapon, similar in principle to the energy flechette, but instead of firing plasma-based projectiles, it instead fires a tiny discus with enough power to not only pierce the thick hide of a Yautja, but also cleanly slice through the flesh and bone of a human with relative ease. Number 10. The Falcon Drone. Seen being utilised by the falconer predator in Predators, the Falcon drone was not so much an offensive weapon, but was primarily a UAV used for scouting and locating prey. Although it looks to have had a small blade attachment on the front of the fuselage, and the NECA version had 2 wrist blade sized attachments, so perhaps it did possess some offensive capabilities. Number 11. The Bullwhip. Used by the wolf predator in AVPR, the bullwhip, also known as the razor whip, is a segmented handheld whip that wraps around an enemy, and once pulled taut is capable of cutting it in half. It is immune to xenomorph acid due to it possibly being constructed out of a xenomorph's tail. Number 12. The SPEARTIP Launcher. Introduced in Predator 2, the City Hunter's wrist gauntlet featured a slot which could fire a U-shaped projectile with a weighted tail and 2 serrated prongs. They are made from an unknown metal that is incredibly lightweight, yet able to cut like hardened steel. They have a blood groove down the middle designed to cause a target to bleed out if they become stuck in the flesh. Number 13. Power Punch Glove. The Power Punch, also known as the Brass Knuckles, were used by Wolf in AVPR. The device consisted of a metal bridge that extended on command from the Predator's gauntlet to connect with brass knuckles worn on the Hound. It was used to give a Yautja a boost in punching strength, allowing it to perform a punch powerful enough to make a hole in solid concrete. Its main purpose was to open up new paths and reach otherwise inaccessible areas. Number 14. Ceremonial Spears. Seen being carried by Chopper in AVP, they were a pair of small throwing and stabbing weapons with human skulls mounted on the other ends. Number 15. Dissolving Liquid. Used by Wolf in AVPR, it was a highly potent corrosive blue chemical used to dissolve any piece of organic material it made contact with, including xenomorph carcasses and human bodies. Although not its designed purpose, dissolving liquid could also be used as a weapon in a desperate situation. The substance also reacted violently with water, and a small amount of the solvent could vaporize large quantities of water and any other material in it. Make sure to let me know which of these rare weapons were your favourites, and what are some other lesser known Yautja weapons, either from the movies or expanded media such as comic books and video games. If you want to help support the channel, then memberships are open from as little as $1.99. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.